You know how leftists dismissively mocked individualist warnings that government in America at every level was growing to the point where agents of the state would watch and control you from cradle to grave, even as they worked for exactly that? Well, news from California shows that they're more than halfway there, as now Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom, without a hint of irony, steps forward with a new program to collect citizen data from cradle to career. Greetings, comrades. I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRCTV. Yep, that's what Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom and his collectivist cronies call it, cradle to career, as the fawning board collective at edsource.org tells us. With $10 million in funding, an ambitious timeline, and a champion in Governor Gavin Newsom behind it, the legislature this week passed legislation for a statewide education data system that will follow children from infancy through the workplace, which isn't creepy in the slightest. But of course, we've come to expect statists applauding Big Brother's leery gaze. Millions of leftists worship Obamacare like a religious totem, not bothering to mention that the statute completely breaches the Fourth Amendment through its employment of HIPAA data collection from private individual medical records. And of course, likewise, the facade of peace-loving leftists fails when writers such as these for EdSource use military terms to invest their preferred aggressive state action with a sense of excitement, writing, the marching order for what Newsom is calling a cradle-to-career data system is included in a lengthy bill elaborating on the 2019-20 state budget for education. It lays out steps over the next 18 months that will determine what the system will look like, how it will be governed, who will have access to data, and how privacy and security will be handled. Of course, anyone who understands the nature of state power knows that privacy doesn't exist in any polis. Your earnings, your home, your life, they're all government assets. They're to be utilized to whatever degree, at whatever time, for however long the state agents desire. You are a public asset and always will be considered so, and so are your kids.
I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
For official purposes, everyone has a number. Yours is number 6.
Because it's a strong bet that the state will share this data with commercial companies. As Dan Tynan writes for Yahoo Tech, in 2008 and 2011, Congress amended the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, to allow authorized third parties to access sensitive student data. How sweet. And just what authorities allow for this access? Well, as Jordan Shapiro writes for Forbes, according to Common Sense Media, almost 6 in 10 parents have heard little or nothing about schools letting private companies store personal data about their children. When informed that there are currently no restrictions limiting these companies from using this information for marketing, parents and non-parents alike express overwhelming concern. All while Governor Newsom grins and tells people this data collection system from cradle to career is needed to answer tough questions like, are early education investments paying off long term? And how prepared are high school students to succeed in college? Well, Gavin, those questions have already been answered. The California education system stinks. In fact, not only is California one of the most expensive per pupil, it recently ranked 42nd of Barack Obama's 57 states in educational output for literacy and numeracy. You know, to many of these people, children are tools and resources to collect money and gain power over people. That is what government is all about. It always has been, and it always will be. Perhaps one of the few things we can actually learn from the California education system, beyond how bad it is the fact that these politicians don't care in the slightest for people's rights, and they view people as resources. Something to keep in mind, Californians, and those in the rest of the country who might watch what California does. Cradle to career. Who thought they'd actually come out and use that type of terminology? Hey, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to share. It helps get around some of the censorious out there. For MRCTV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.